You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm fucking you up. Huh?
I'm ready.
Nah. I want to keep this shit. Keep it in.
Right,
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the episode of the GinTV podcast. It's your boy EAZY.
And A1DasauceGod.
Sorry for that. I just like fucking them up sometimes. Yo.
Throwing me off, bro.
I usually have a countdown before we start an episode. Sometimes I don't throw it, and it really messes him up.
Man, I'm a guy of organization and order. This guy likes to throw little haymakers in there.
Y'all gotta keep you agile. I gotta keep you on your toes. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm fat, bro. I'm not agile.
We can get rid of this. All right, but today's drink is Atomic Pumpkin. It's a spicy special release. All right, we've been really
Festive.
doing the pumpkin shit this month. You know, but it makes sense. Yo, damn. Whoa,
That spice is there.
this is like they put hot sauce in this beer.
They fucking.
Holy shit,
That
this
spice is fucking there, bro. That shit tastes like
It's not bad. It's not
cayenne
bad.
pepper.
It does.
Like they put
That shit at the
cayenne
back of my
pepper in
throat. Pause. Hey, yo.
You should be used to that by now, bro.
What, pause?
It's down to the back of your throat.
I'm not quite getting the joke.
It'll get you on the way.
Did you insinuate I'm sucking dick? Was that it?
Wasn't really insinuated, you know.
But that means you know.
I mean, call it what you want, man.
So whose is it? Whose is it?
I don't know. Whoever you want it to be.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
It's this pumpkin beer.
Okay, yeah, sure.
This pumpkin beer.
I'm gonna say this is honestly probably one of the most interesting beers I've ever had.
I think it's definitely unique.
I definitely recommend this shit. Atomic Pumpkin, Voodoo Ranger. I don't know who makes this shit.
I think it's Voodoo Ranger.
Voodoo Ranger. That's the company. Yeah, try this shit. I fuck with it, bro. I'm rocking with it.
It's a unique beer. What would you rate it?
It's gonna get a high score. It's gonna get an 8.5 out of me, honestly.
Really?
Yo, I'm into spicy food. I'm into spicy shit. So
I could fuck with this.
yeah.
I could see myself buying it again.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes we buy a beer for this thing and just never revisit. It's just
I give it like an 8. Yeah.
But let's get into today's episode. So if you're looking in the back, you're gonna see three faces, right? Mm-hmm. Two of them you're probably very familiar with. One you might not be familiar with if you're probably an older person. I'm not too familiar with the one in the middle. So the three people on camera are obviously Nick Cannon, the boy Ye himself, Jesus, the new Jesus, and a popular YouTuber by the name of Sneako. He's the one in the middle. So all three of them have something in common, or something that, and I haven't seen anybody on YouTube talk about this or any like news outlets, right? I kind of made a connection between all three that I haven't seen anybody make. So first,
I think they're afraid to, bro. I think we're the only ones that's really gonna step up and actually.
Do you think people are aware of the connection between all three? I'm sure
that somebody. I'm sure somebody knows.
So
Maybe not all three, at least two.
I'm not as original as I think.
No, you're original. You're what you say?
Innovator.
That's a perfect word for it. You're actually gonna come out and talk about it compared to everyone else.
All right. So for the ones that don't know, the guy in the middle, his name is Sneako. He's a popular YouTuber. He's kind of like a Andrew Tate Jr. per se, right? He definitely talks about or he makes a lot of content about the manosphere. You know, he's
the Matrix.
Yeah, like I said, like kind of a mini Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah.
He was climbing up the ranks, and he actually he did some stuff with Andrew Tate, which to me is impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a couple clips by him. I'm not really big into his content,
right.
like not in a bad way. It's just something that does really interest me like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't come across your news feed.
Same thing like about Andrew Tate, right? Like I see his content, but it wasn't something that was like exactly for me.
Yeah.
You see him scrolling, right?
Right.
So recently, Sneako got banned off YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And he had a thing about it, like he had two channels. One had like 1 million subscribers. The other one had 800 subscribers.
Something
so
like
he's
that. He's pretty
decently
popular.
big, right? Like
Absolutely.
he's not like a small YouTuber.
Not
right?
at all.
I mean, he's not no Mr. Beast, right? But
Mr. Beast is a beast, man.
So a lot of people are speculating that he got his channels banned off YouTube because he was talking about the same stuff that Andrew Tate was. Like he was kind of, bashing women as some people would interpret it. Like
misogynistic like narrative.
Yeah. So to me, as I was kind of doing my research on why he got banned, right, I kind of did run into an interesting clip from another YouTuber. I forget the name, sorry. So he had made an anti-Semitic statement or comment on one of his lives, right? That actually got played in front of the Senate, which to me is crazy, right? That like some 20-year-olds fucking live on YouTube is getting played in the Senate, right? Like, so that itself is crazy to me that like people on these kind of platforms are making it that far, right? So, like I said, he made an anti-Semitic comment on one of his lives, and if you don't know what that word is, it's pretty much just speaking ill of Jewish people, right? So it got me thinking, right? It's like, okay, he's made like this manosphere content for quite a while now. I guess he's been on YouTube for 10 years, and like, so I guess he's had some type of like YouTube violations prior, so could be a combination thing, right? Then also as of recently, right, Mr. Kanye himself has been going on in one of his like episodes, schizophrenic, bipolar, like whatever he has, right? Like, I feel like every 3-4 months, like he kind of goes through one of these things, right? It's kind of normal at this point.
Maybe that's another conversation. Go ahead though.
So, he's going through his usual rounds of just like doing insane shit, right? And we're just like, all right, hey, it's Kanye. It's like, it's like, like when you have like a slow family member and they're like, they're just over there.
That's just him.
Playing with their shit in the side. It's like, that's Tom.
That's just what he does.
That's how we treat Kanye at this point. It's like, oh, that's Kanye. Yeah, whatever. Just let him be. He fizzles out. He'll come back out. He'll drop some new slides. We'll let it go.
Maybe we're not just woke enough, man. Maybe we're the
sleep.
We're the one that's asleep right now.
So all right, so Kanye's, like I said, Kanye's going through his usual shit, right? But then the other, I think this week, right, he got deplatformed on Twitter. And Instagram, right? And for what? Like, so
anti-Semitic comments.
So he made an anti-Semitic comment. I'll swipe up to this one. You want to read it for the listeners?
Said, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going to DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because I'm black. Because black people are actually Jewish also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda.
Damn, bro.
I can't fucking see. It's the glare, bro.
All right, you hooked on phonics ass.
Well, I need my finger to read now, but that glare is crazy.
So
this angle is not the greatest, bro, for reading on the camera.
Okay. All right. Hey, man. We all read at our own pace, okay?
It's all right, bro.
So once again, right? You're wilding out. You're doing whatever the fuck you've been doing for years, right? But as soon as you make an anti-Semitic post, boom, deplatform, right? And I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was either 2-3 years ago, right? Nick Cannon got in trouble as well, right? He had his own podcast or some type of TV show. It was like Cannon Class or Class with Cannon or something like that, right? He made some type of anti-Semitic statement on his platform, right? And that's when he had gotten fired from Wildin' Out, right? Viacom dropped him and all that other shit. And it's like, yo, he was just pretty much almost got banned off the planet of the Earth, right? And then, but he kind of went like an apology tour, all that other shit. Excuse me, that fucking cayenne pepper just came back up,
bro. That should be hitting.
So he kind of got back in their favor, right, by doing whatever, God knows what, right? But to me, I'm kind of sensing a pattern here where it's like you pretty much can say whatever you want, right? You could kind of wall out. You could. Because you could make posts about black people, right? You could be as racist. I mean, there's like KKK members with fucking like Facebook pages, right?
Open
like,
opinions.
Nobody gives a fuck, right? They're not
at all.
Their account suspended, banned, all right? You can do all that shit, right? But it seems like, anytime someone talks about, this specific group of people, right? That's when shit gets real. That's when the wheels stop, right? So to me, it's like, this group is like really running the show. I think they're the ones behind the scenes that's like running everything.
Okay.
What do you think?
My personal opinion, like there might be some truth to that, but I'm not 100% sold on it quite yet. Okay. I think that my take on it, I really think that they're using this as an excuse to like bar these people off. Now Nick Cannon was definitely a weird one. You know, I'm not too familiar with why he was actually banned. You know, I'm taking it as him just making the anti-Semitic posts or the comments, and that was the reason why he was kind of fired because of it. But in terms of like Sneako and Kanye, after doing some research, it seems like, well, just knowing Kanye, not even doing research on anything, but like you said, every 6 months is something crazy. He's getting banned from certain things. His account gets shut down. He gets it back. He's been wilding out on fucking Kim and who was the guy that she was just dating?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. You know, he's really like he goes against the grain a lot, and he just says what he wants. So I feel like they kind of just use this to kind of silence him, you know, especially with him being such a big public figure, because one of us could have said something like that. It probably wouldn't have mattered, you know, but because of the platform that he has and the amount of people that follows him, some people may blindly follow him. And, you know, I feel like that's what they use to kind of silence these people, especially like Sneako, you know. I feel like his content previous to that comment or that state has been just, you know, against the grain, you know, the stuff that they don't really want you to hear about. He's been saying borderline misogynistic posts. Like, I'm all for calling people out on their bullshit, but like now we're getting to the misogynist territory, and I don't use that term lightly, you know. I feel like we tend to throw out these buzzwords like misogynist and toxic masculinity and stuff like that, but some of his content was really creeping that line, you know.
I mean, like I said, I didn't really watch too much of it.
Yeah,
like, so.
I mean, I never really watched too much of it previously, but after this whole thing came out, like I've been like kind of following up on it, and he was bugging. Like he was definitely in his lane a little bit too much, because like, he felt like damn near untouchable, and especially with a role model like Andrew Tate, you know, you almost kind of want to be like your big brother all the time. So if your big brother say jump, you want to fucking dunk. If he tell you to run, you want to run as fast as you can, you know. So like, I feel like they're using this opportunity these comments as a reason to blackball them.
But to me, it's like, why these comments specifically? I you know what I mean? It's just too much of a coincidence, right? I mean, I can see your point.
Right.
Like, I mean, like maybe they're looking for an excuse, right? But like, why this excuse, right?
I think it's because I think, like, unfortunately, it's just coincidental. That personally, my take on it.
I don't. So do you believe in coincidence?
I believe in coincidences. I think that sometimes things are like
it just happen randomly. Like, there's no deeper meaning.
Yeah, sometimes they happen randomly, but then there are sometimes there's a deeper meaning behind it. I think the deeper meaning behind it is the fact that they want to get these motherfuckers off the platforms. But like, I definitely think that the fact that, because I feel like if Sneako had made like such a really disgusting misogynistic post, or like Kanye was talking about another religious group, then it probably would have escalated to this point as well, you know?
Bro, fucking Kanye had like said he's gonna like chop fucking Pete Davidson's head off at one point. Like,
right.
It's like, yo, Twitter was just like, all right, yeah, cool, man.
Whatever.
Like, keep it rocking, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, I feel like there's been so much more worse shit from most people, right? It's like,
yeah,
I feel like, yo, most people when they get banned, yo, they've done so much worse shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like, all right, I get the accumulation thing. We're like, all right, like, you've done enough. Like, this is it. But it's like,
right.
Kanye to me was really what kind of like strike the match in my head. It's like,
really?
All right, like what's
going
really
on?
Like,
here?
Now we're canceling this guy. Like, yo, he makes this one, which isn't right. Like, I'm not justifying what he said. Like, obviously it's horrible.
Was it really that bad?
I think he's fucking. If you're making a threat through all Jewish people, I think that's a problem.
Was it even a threat though?
I think if you could interpret it as a threat, I think if the way he wrote that tweet, we could put it back here for anyone that wants to read it on the screen, right? I think the way he wrote that tweet, it can be interpreted as a violent way, right? If you look up the definition of DEFCON, which I think you did, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily fit.
It's just pretty much saying that there's a threat, and not you're causing a threat, but there is a threat to you, your country, your president, or whatever it is, and you're just preparing for that threat. So you have to be pretty much the military has to be 15 minutes or be ready to be able to be ready in 15 minutes, right? So I think pretty much he's just in a place right now where he realized that, you know, all of this is happening. Maybe there's some truth to what you're saying, like, you know, that the Jewish people are a certain can't be really touched with, can't be really talked about, can't be really discussed, or maybe even influenced in some aspects in his life. And he's just like, I'm over it. Like, I'm actually at the point right now where I'm prepared to like go head to head with y'all. And I don't think that's a threat. Like, I don't think if he was to actively say, you know what, I'm gonna do this to all Jewish people, or, you know, on some neo-Nazi status, like, all right, now we got a problem, right? But like, he's pretty much saying, I'm preparing for what y'all got,
thing, right? Like, so I think by definition, I think his tweet isn't like as aggressive as it could be, right? Because I think by the definition of the word, right, from what we know, is like, it's just you're preparing for a threat that's coming your way, right?
Yeah.
But here's how people can interpret, right? It's like, if Kanye is deeming this group of people as a threat, right?
Yeah.
If you know that, like, if I know you're a threat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm preparing, like, all right, why just prepare when I could just attack first?
I mean,
right? So, and Kanye has these EAZY fans are fucking nuts, right? Like, people are sucking dick for these sneakers. You feel me? It's like,
that's wild, right, bro.
Yeah. So it's like, if he has this type of following, right, this type of fan base, right, and when he makes a statement like this, right, and they see it like, okay, so now, okay, this group of people, I should be worried about them because he's worried about them, right? So it's like, if Kanye's worried about them, that means I should be worried about them, right? So if we're all worried about these people, right, let's act on it now. And I think that's how, like, stuff like, like 9/11, when like 9/11 happened, right? It's like, okay, 9/11 happens, right? And now they think all Middle Eastern people are terrorists, right?
Yeah.
So now they're acting like out against all these people, right? Even though it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm chilling.
I'm just relaxing,
like,
right?
So I think,
bro, you couldn't see a Middle Eastern person on a plane without thinking that shit was going down. That's what I'm saying.
But like, but that's that warps your mind, right? Because now you see these people as a threat, right? So when he makes a statement like this, it could just be like, okay, like, all right, like that. Oh, that's a Jew. Like, you see their they're fitted. I don't know. I don't even know what's that.
The fitted, bro.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know.
I forgot what it's called too.
Yarmulke.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Oh, if it's not it, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come off rude.
But I mean, I feel like it's no different than like how black people have been viewing white people. We view white people as a threat also. They're in places of power and control. And we've been living our lives, and we honestly, sometimes some parents teach their kids to like be on DEFCON 3 against white people. And I feel like it's no different from the way white people view black people. We're in a sense of like, every time you see a black person, you should just always be prepared. Does that mean you're always going to act on violence, or you're always going to be violent towards them? No, you treat them different? Possibly. You may not say certain things around them, may even mistreat them, but to say that you're actually going to actively cause physical harm or any type of harm to them, I don't really think that's the case. I think he's just saying like, I'm just ready for y'all shit, whatever it is, whatever the shit that he sees in his mind. I don't have the answer to that, but whatever the shit he sees in his mind, I think he's just saying, you know what, like, you guys have fucked me over already enough, and I'm just tired of it. That's what I got from it. Because even when on initial read, I was like, what's so bad about this? Not even really, because I know what DEFCON 3 was, but vaguely, not in too much detail. But even when I read that, I'm like, where's the anti-Semitic post? Like, where is it at? Like, where's the statement?
I think sometimes, it's like something could be interpreted as like just racist by just mentioning
a name. Yeah,
it's like,
bro, it's like, imagine the first thing that comes out of a white person's mouth, and they say anything about black people. Bro, we're like, whoa, what? What do you mean? Like, what gives you a right to say anything? It's like, chill out. Like, people can have an opinion on their own. Like, people can not like a certain thing, And I feel like the way that the world is going right now, we're definitely silencing. There's definitely an attack on freedom of speech, is what I would say.
An attack on freedom of speech.
Absolutely, I feel like the way how things are going, I don't, like I said, Nick Cannon situation.
Let me ask you this, right? You're saying there's an attack on freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
Based off what?
Based off of the fact that they're pulling people. They fucking, as wild as Donald Trump was, they fucking ripped his Twitter away, and blocked him off of social media. They pulled these people, these social media people, you call them moguls, you call them whatever you want, these people that have a big following, they're pulling them away for what? Speaking, they're really not acting on it. Yes, they may possibly be a threat, but even then, look, when one of our videos, we're a small ass podcast, and one of our videos got flagged for just dropping a certain word and talking about it during a certain period of time. So it's like, why is it that we can't have an open conversation about certain things? I feel like we're taking away I think they kind of want to shape. Honestly, I really believe this, and that they're trying to shape. They're trying to be in control of the narrative, and they're trying to be in control of the information that people are getting. And
so are you saying like we're turning like the United States of America is turning into a communist country? That's what you're pretty much saying, right? Because it's like that's like how China operates, like where they, you only get the information that they want you to get, right? Like
absolutely.
It's like I heard when you go into China, like your phone doesn't even work that much. Like all your social media is like down. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like you can't post shit out of there.
I think what is it, North Korea that's like that too, where like they have like limited internet and social media and shit like that. Like they have their own version of YouTube, their own version of social media. I think it's very similar to that, you know? And it's like I feel like that's where we're going towards. You know, they're trying to I feel like constitutional rights, there's definitely an attack on constitutional rights as well, but this is a whole other conversation. I'm not even a big conspiracy theorist, but going back to like the whole gun control and gun violence, and now they're talking about, you know, taking away the freedom of speech. It's like they're really trying to uproot a lot of these rights that we have as Americans, and we have as just people as a whole. And I feel like they're testing the waters little by little to see, okay, how much can we take before we push back? Okay, they're okay with that. Let's push it a little bit more. Like we just saw when have they ever mandated people to wear masks? Never. That's never. And all the epidemics that we've had and all the pandemics that we've had, we've never seen anybody like, you know, forcefully. We never seen the government step in and forcefully force people to like follow a certain thing. We never seen people go on a lockdown like that either, right? During the Spanish flu, that didn't happen. During Ebola, that didn't happen. During all of these other things, we never really seen that stuff come out. But like now we're actually, I don't know what the agenda is. Like I don't know what the end goal is. But New World Order, who knows? You know, but like I really think that they are coming up with like, they're definitely testing the waters to see how much can they push us? Yeah, like I feel like we won't know what the real reason was until it's too late. Like, and like I said, I'm not even a big conspiracy theorist person. Like I'm like, go with the flow, man. Like whatever let the government do whatever they want. But I really believe that like this is where we're going, and like they keep testing it. Look, Andrew Tate gets ripped down for what valid reason? What did he violate?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sneako got ripped down for, I don't even know what was the specific conversation he had.
I think it was like I'm really sold on my statement, man. I really feel like.
But what would they gain out of that though? Let's just say it was.
I think they're letting you know, like, yo, we have a zero tolerance.
But why are they protecting Jewish people so defensively? Do you think?
Because I feel like they're just in charge, like, so they can make these decisions, right?
Okay.
Yo, it's like, yo, if you run your own company, right, and someone's like, yo, like, oh, A1's a dickhead, right, but the guy's a good employer, but it's like, yo, all right, maybe he just warranted like a warning or something like that, but you just fire him just because you could, right? Because like, yo, I don't tolerate that shit. I feel like, yo, that's what it is, yo. They're like, it's like, yo, you don't go against the boss type shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in this group, I think is running shit like behind the scenes. Like, yo, you don't. It's like, yo, you know when like they come on like these Forbes lists and it's like, oh, this guy's like a millionaire or a billionaire. Yeah. It's like, bro, the people with the real money, you don't even. They're not on this. They're
not even near. They just have access.
So I'm saying, I feel like these are the real people running the show. They're pulling on the strings. I feel like, yo, when like shit really happens, like when shit gets canceled or when shit like just goes whatever way, like, yo, these are the people that give it the green light. You feel me? And I feel like, yo,
the Jewish people.
I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
Yes, but yes.
Really?
Nah, yo, it's either but it's like it's either.
But why specifically them? Like, why specifically that group of people?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not part of that shit.
I'm asking. Like, we always have like hear the horror stories of like the Illuminati and like Freemasons and stuff like that, right? But you know, what is the real history behind it? You know, like we say that it's Illuminati that's controlling everything, but now we're saying it's this other group that's controlling everything. It's like, is the Illuminati these people? Like, are they together? Like, is that where they all from? You know, like
the Juminati.
Exactly. You know, it's like, what is the purpose behind it, and why is it that, like, I feel like if it was specifically for them, I feel like they're making it very obvious on who they are.
Yo, but like, here's the thing. I don't think so. Right?
You don't think so?
I don't think most people are, like I said, I could be just full of myself, right? But I don't think a lot of people are making these connections, like the general public, right?
Yeah.
I think they just see this shit and they're like, all right, yeah, well, he said some bad things about women. All right, fuck him, he's done, banned, right? I think they just accept it at face value.
Yeah.
I think people see Kanye like, all right, the guy's wilding out, he had it coming, whatever, right? But then he makes this one post and it's like, okay, boom, right?
Like I said, I feel like if Kanye had talked about women, it would have been the same thing.
Nah,
I feel
bro,
like,
I don't think, bro, I think Kanye could have came up there and said, yo, I'm now officially a member of the KKK, and they're like, okay,
all right,
keep it tweeting.
But I mean, is KKK being considered like what do they call this? Not bullying, but like it's not anti-Semitic. So
it's anti everything. They're the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's not that. It's something else. But continue.
I feel like they're whatever the KKK would post would be breaking some type of community guidelines. Like I don't feel like they're posting positive things.
But I feel like that's why Facebook protects them, is because technically they're not hate speech. That's what it is. Is that what it's called? Hate speech.
Hate speech.
Yeah. So like, I don't think like they're actively saying things that are hateful. They may have one-off person that like fucking says some wild shit in that group. But like,
I'm just saying, bro. I feel like yo, you could see so much wild shit online, right? Like from anybody.
But I'm telling you, they're clipping that. They're putting a stop to
Who
it,
else?
bro.
Who else are they clipping?
Anyone that really goes against the grain. Like I feel like it's just the type of person that you are. Like what is the common denominator outside of the specific people that they were talking about? What else is the common denominator? They're all radical thinkers. Like they're not people that like. They're not sheep, they think outside for themselves, and they have enough influence to stir the way of thinking, to stir the masses into thinking a specific way, whether it be good or whether it be bad. And I feel like that's the reason why there's so much attack on them, is because of the fact that, they're not falling in line. I feel like if they were just like a regular person that don't go against the grain and said some wild shit about these people, laughed at it. Like, let's just say, Andrew Schultz. Like Andrew Schultz talk shit about damn near everybody, I feel like if he had got on stage and made a Jewish joke and probably said something similar to like that, it wouldn't have made any difference.
But he doesn't have that type of like. See, I feel like these people have like a certain type of influence.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's influence one, and I think the second thing is the fact that they don't think the same as everyone else. I feel like those are the two main reasons, and the fact that they have pushed the limit so much in the past that. Now it's especially like specifically Andrew Tate, Kanye West, and Sneako. I think that
here's why I think it doesn't fit, right? Because it's like, okay, I'll go back to Kevin Samuels for a second, right? It's like, all right, he kind of made the same kind of content, or Kevin Samuels, Jordan Peterson, right?
Okay,
they're pretty much doing the same kind of shit, right? The Andrew Tate or Sneako is, right?
Yeah,
a little more refined.
More so Jordan Peterson than Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, but even Kevin Samuels, right? He was kind of shitting on women.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a radical thinker, though. Like he wasn't. But I feel like it's a combination of the two. Right?
A lot of people are thinking that like Andrew Tate and Sneako are getting banned because they're making content for the manosphere, right? They feel like anytime you're like real pro male, right. Toxic, whatever, right? All that masculinity shit, right?
Yeah.
They feel like that's the reason they're getting banned. I'm thinking it's deeper than that, right? Because to me, it's like, okay, Kevin Samuels stayed in his lane, right? He didn't venture out against like the Jewish people, right? Yeah. He didn't venture out into the Matrix, right? He just kind of shitted on women.
I think he could have shitted on women and shitted on Jewish people and been safe. Honestly,
I don't think. I'm telling you. I think if he started going in that direction, he would have get canceled.
I don't think so, bro. I think we see people getting canceled outside of that too.
Who else is getting canceled, bro? Who else?
I mean,
it's a limited few, bro.
We've been getting micro cancels. Like it's not really been like full bans off of internet. I feel like now is a time where we're seeing like full bans off of social media, which I'm saying they're fucking pushing an agenda, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like we've been seeing micro bans where people are banding together and deciding to or banding together and deciding to, okay, we're not okay with the way that this specific person said this or this specific comment that this person said, and we're going to use that as ammunition. Look at Kevin Hart. Like Kevin Hart he was supposed to go on the Grammys or some shit like that, ended up pulling up an old tweet from him and forced him or wanted him to apologize.
But he fell in line. But
did he apologize?
He did.
Exactly.
He fell. But he fell in line.
So I'm talking about there's two things you got to do. If you have one and not the other, then it's like, okay, you're safe. But if you have both in conjunction, I think that's where you go wrong. As we talked about with Nick Cannon. Like Nick Cannon, he made the mistake, but then what did he do? He fell in line.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, he made the mistake, and what did he do? He fell in line. Kanye West is making a mistake and is not fucking falling in line. Sneako's making a mistake and not falling in line.
I feel like if he had apologized for the tweet, right, I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like Jordan Peterson is Andrew Tate. Like, if you watch both of their contents, right, like they're the fucking same person.
Right.
One just uses a lot bigger words. Right? That's what it is.
I'm not gonna lie. Jordan Peterson, he would fucking lose you for like a couple seconds. You gotta,
that's what I'm saying.
Gotta sit there and think about it. Like I have to.
Bro, I'm telling you, and they have a big following.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson has a huge social media following.
Right.
From a lot of men.
Right.
I'm telling you, but he stays in his lane, right?
But he got attacked.
But if he gets attacked regularly. If you make content for men, you're gonna get attacked regardless, right? But I'm telling you, if he starts making like negative posts about this group of people, I think that'll be the end of the line for him.
I don't even think so. I think he got banned off of Twitter too. I'm pretty sure he got banned off of Twitter, and then he ended up taking a break off of Twitter. Okay. I think he took a break off of Twitter and got banned later on, or he got banned off of Twitter. Even like, for those of you that don't watch or don't know of Jordan Peterson, definitely tap into some of his stuff. But like, there was an interview that he had with somebody. He literally broke down in tears because he's like, "Yo, like, I don't understand. I feel like people aren't getting why the things that I'm saying are getting why I'm saying the things that I'm saying." And it's like, you know, I really think that like I said, I think that there are really attacks on people that think radically and think different than the norm. You know, I feel like there's certain information they want us to follow. That's why most news channels produce or put out the same information. I feel like there's certain content that they want us to listen to. They definitely want us to be wrapped up in our phones and wrapped up in, you know, social media and kind of distracted with the things that are happening in the world. Like we even saw with the what is it called? The relief money that we got, the stimulus checks, right? Yeah, a small percentage of the money was for that, but they requested billions of dollars to do what? Build koi ponds off the coast of some other shit, and they built they ended up building some other building down in the south. They ended up helping another country with most of the money our money, not anyone else's money, but our money,
tax money.
Exactly. So like, I feel like they want you to be distracted from that stuff. You know, they want to take your sight away from that for one, and I think they also want to have one specific narrative that everyone kind of follows behind. You know, there's a specific agenda. Why do most white people hate black people? Obviously, because most of the time you hear about what? Black killings, black robberies, black this, black that. Most of the time you're hearing about black people, it's in a negative light. And why do most black people hate cops and are more resistant to cops? Because we hear about police brutality and police being brutal to cops, but not knowing that police are brutal to white people too. Police are brutal as fuck to anybody. They don't give a fuck if you're black or white. Overall
dickheads.
Exactly. But if let's just say there are 1,000 situations that happen, right? 50% black, 50% white, right? So 500 black, 500 white. If all you're hearing is about the black people, you're thinking that police do nothing but abuse black people and are not abusing white people. But in reality, they are, bro.
Everybody getting beat.
So to sum it all up, I really think that like it's a combination of the two. I really think there's an agenda to push a certain type of narrative and make sure that we follow a certain specific information, or that we listen to whatever the narrative that, you know, keep us blind for one, and two, I feel like they're also pushing the silencing. They wanna be able to take away, you know, some of our rights and our freedom of speech. They don't want us to have freedom of speech anymore. And you could clearly see that, you know, we could clearly see that they're violating certain constitutional rights. Like, how does what Sneako said, what Kanye West said, or what Andrew Tate say, how is that how isn't that protected by the freedom of speech? When we actively, like you said, we actively have KKK people out here wilding.
But that goes. That's the thing, right? I don't think it's like the freedom of speech. I don't think they're directly attacking our freedom of speech. I think they're attacking freedom of speech when they touch us. I mean, I guess I'm agreeing with you to an extent, right? I feel like it's like, you could say like 98% of wild shit, right? But it's like, well, for whatever reason, when you tap into this 2%, that's when like, no.
I don't think it's selective to Jewish people, bro. I really don't. I really don't think it's selective to them. I think it's whatever they feel. You know, I feel like it has to be. You have to be radical, and you have to be saying like some wild shit. I feel like both of them. You have to have a radical way of thinking and be saying some wild shit, and maybe 3 have a large platform because I think
so
without the comedy,
you think Jordan Peterson, if he made the same tweet as Kanye, he'd be good?
no, because he doesn't think radically.
Okay,
I think.
So all right, so basically,
I think if Will Smith made the same comment, yeah, he'll be good.
Oh, right now? You fucking kidding
Bro,
me?
I think he's good, bro. He's going through some wild shit. He might just go off the cuff a bit, but like I think like he doesn't talk about like the Matrix or like being against like, you know, being against the government or any of that stuff, you know. I feel like he's just himself, you know, like he's just a sheep, you know, he just follows along.
Yo, so overall, you think I'm overreading this thing then?
I think you're I don't think you're overreading it. I definitely think that like it's a little bit broader than where you're at with it, you know.
Okay.
I think maybe instead of overreading it, I think underreading it. You know, I would say it's like instead of it just being selectively towards Jewish people, I would say it's more on a broader scale. Like even like Donald Trump, like what the fuck did he do to get fucking banned off of the internet? I don't even know what was the final straw. I don't know if you know off the top.
I think it was like that the insurrection thing. I think when they ran up on the fucking Capitol because of his tweet. I think that was it. They were like, all right, we gotta get this guy off.
Right, but I think also, but then what does he have? He has a large following, and he does not want to conform to normal policies. The nigga fucking stole documents out of the White House and brought them to his house. Like,
let me ask you, so do you think it should be 100% freedom of speech?
Yeah, but I feel like you definitely toyed a line of like hate speech as well in the middle of that, because like if it's 100% freedom of speech,
I don't know, bro. I don't know if you could have like a line. I feel like it's either like 100% or we can get real selective. No, yeah, because they have like that new platform now. I think it's called Rumble.
Rumble, yeah.
That's where like Donald Trump went to, and I feel like that's probably
Andrew Tate went there.
I feel like. I say, all right, so say you go to that platform, right? Yeah. And the first thing, like, someone just says like the wildest shit to you, right? But it's like, right. Like the most racist, wildest shit, right? It's like, okay, you can't report it though. You can't even block it. Like, it's just like, is it cool?
But you know what you could do?
What?
Could log off.
Yeah.
You don't gotta be paying attention to it.
Yeah,
you don't know Stevenson 703. You don't know who the fuck that is.
Like, you think is it that easy though, logging off? Like in reality, right? I know it's easy to say, right? Like if you're getting cyberbullied, log off. But is it really that easy?
It's 100% that easy.
What?
It's 100% that easy.
Bro, like most of our like lives now, right, are on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, is it really that easy to log off?
You could block the person.
What?
You could block the person. You could hush the person's tweet or unfollow the person. Like you could unfriend the person. There's a few options in order to not see a certain person's content. And I feel like, bro, there's so much shit. Like even before when I had social media, there was so much shit that like got me going, you know, grind my gears that I wanted to like jump onto the comments. But you know what I did? Just go on to the next. Like it wasn't even worth it because I know they have an opposing view from me, right?
Kept, like, what if it was like it just kept coming back? It just kept coming back.
Then I block them, bro. There's some content that I just block. Like I don't block people that.
What if there's like a whole following behind them?
Then it is what it is. I'll just scroll past it. Like you could literally just not give it any attention, bro. Like I feel like we fail to realize that the feed that we get is tailored to the things that we like and the things that we share, and also who we follow as well. Very rarely do you get content that's outside of that spectrum. You know, if you like certain things, notice how when we started the podcast and we started having certain conversations, most of the stuff that we view that hits our feed or catches our attention is what? Relationship conversations. That's pretty primarily it, right? Before that, I can't remember the last time I got it. I got a relationship conversation. Or maybe even it's not that we're talking about it, you know, we're hyper focused on it a little bit more. But I feel like that's where we're feeling to like, I feel like this is where we're giving cancel culture a little bit too much power, right? Is because I feel like all that we're seeing now is what cancel culture has led up to. Like, you know, we're seeing where people...
because prior to this, cancel culture wasn't real to me.
Wasn't a real thing.
Because people be like, all right, well, they're canceled, right? It's like, okay, like, all right, you people be mad at them for like 6 months or some shit like that. But then they come back like nothing happened, right?
Like nothing happened.
It was like a revolving door, right? Like, all right, we're canceling you today, we're canceling you tomorrow. But the first person that got canceled, you're good, man. Like,
You're
just
good.
keep it rocking.
Just keep it rocking, bro.
But but like,
you know what?
now,
We get fucking distracted.
But now it's like cancel culture is becoming real because like, now you're banning people, right, from a platform, right? Because you're also taking their way of living.
Absolutely.
Most of these people make money
off of these social
like,
media platforms,
right? Because like, Sneako was like a full-time YouTuber. I don't think he had a real job, right?
No.
So you just canceled the man or deplatformed, right? So you took his like
livelihood,
the way he ate, the way he did everything, right? So, so that's real cancel culture,
and that's dangerous. This is what I'm saying. That this is where we're getting into when I'm upset about a certain topic and I want somebody to do something about it. I don't like the fact that you were mean to me, and somebody needs to do something about it, rather than us just ignoring it or moving on from it or even combating it. You know, what's preventing some people from creating their own content to combat to certain things that he say? I feel like where we're going, we don't allow for people to expand more into more knowledge. You know, like I feel like how do you change a way of thinking, or how do you question, or how do you change a way of thinking, and how do you grow as a species is by questioning certain things and questioning certain narratives and having a conversation about it. Exactly. But like where we're silencing certain things, why would you question it? That's almost like a cult following. Think about it. Cults, they have like their specific doctrine that they follow. They have one leader that they listen to. They don't really ever get outside information. They only have one specific narrative that hits their ears, and that is their belief, to the point where they drink poison Kool-Aid and kill themselves. But we don't notice that. Like, you know, I feel like this is where we're going down a slippery slope where we're definitely doing some serious damage. And, you know, everybody's happy now that, you know, select people are getting canceled and select people are getting banned off of these platforms. But how are you going to feel when it's you? You know, how are you going to feel when you no longer have a voice, when certain things are happening and you can't speak up and say, and you can't
but I think,
make
with
any
this
change?
happening, I think it's just going to diminish voices. I think people that might have spoken out before, they're going to be like, well, I don't want to be the next one to get canceled. So like,
absolutely,
I'm just going to not do it.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I feel like this is the reason why, you know, it's the reason. I feel like people speaking out and going against the grain is the reason why women have rights to vote. Is the reason why we have open homosexuality these days. It's the reason why black people are no longer 3/10 or 3/7 of a human being. You know, it's like
because they went against the grain.
Because they went against the grain and they had a different conversation.
That might be the best point I've ever heard you make in your life.
This guy.
That shit got brought it full circle for me.
But it's like,
that's a good point. I never thought about it. Because like, if we stop challenging shit, right? If we just accept things as is, right? We won't grow and things will be stagnant, right? And like, there's a lot of things in our current like everyday life, right? That is not right. That is not run well, right? That needs a change, right? And if we don't speak up against it, like, it'll never change. So, you got a good point, Like, this cancel culture is really, like, halting our progress as, like, a society, as a people, human nature. Like, we're compressing our growth by, like, not wanting to hear, like, things that...
other people's opinions. And we also condition ourselves to be so triggered that we kind of disconnect other people's opinions, you know? We like I said, we start using terms as like buzz terms as like toxic masculinity and misogynistic and incels and all of these other, you know, name calling, pretty much, essentially, without actually trying to find some truth or questioning, you know, is there actually some truth in what the person is saying? Yes, they might be all of these things, or all of these things you may be valid in saying what you're saying about them, but rather than completely isolating them and canceling them and blocking them out, hear what they have to say and see if there's any truth behind it. Maybe you can follow the path of why they got to where they are, or maybe you may be able to even convince them or show them why you think that the way that you think, you know?
Yeah, and you might not agree with like how they think, right? But it is always good to try to understand where someone got where they are.
Absolutely.
Cause that's like one thing I always try to like. I've told you like this before, right? When someone does something to me that's very unexpected, I always want to learn, like, or like try to figure out, like, what made you do that?
Right.
Like, how did you get here?
How did you make that?
I don't understand, like, what happened?
Yeah.
And this is a little off. You want to add anything to this topic?
Go.
This is a little off topic, right? But I'm kind of sick of seeing this shit, right? And So we're gonna way different from this, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I hear a lot of people complain about podcasts. Right?
Okay.
They're always like kind of complaining about podcasts, especially black podcasts. Right? They're like, yo, all black podcasts talk about is like relationship shit, right?
Right.
And
male
like,
podcasts too. And male podcasts too.
Male, and like I'm saying, it's like, and I'm always hearing this shit, right? And it made me think, it's like, yo, podcasters are gonna post shit that people are gonna interact with, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna equal views, right?
Right.
So, right, there's a reason like a lot of like this specific demographic of podcasts always post like this kind of content, is because that's the type of content that most people actually interact with, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, and we've experienced it ourselves. That, yo, we try to do more educational content. We try to do more like, you know, family friendly content, right? Nothing.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck, right?
Right.
Yo, as soon as you talk about like toxic relationships,
bitches twerking,
or we just in general, right? We just talk about our ideology on relationships and how we think women should be and all this other shit, right? We get the most views, we get the most
interactions,
feedback, right? It's like, yo, so this is like a message for anybody that's out listening. It's like, yo, if you're sick of like just getting this type of content, like relationship content from like the podcast that you're listening to, yo, give their other content the same reaction that you would their relationship content. You know what I'm saying?
It bores them. That's the reason why they're not watching it. What are podcasters? What are we?
Regular people,
bro. No, we're video journalists. Like we're talking about the people that you know. We're writing, instead of writing an article or writing a blog about something, we're speaking on it. You know, we're talking about that. And why would you talk about something who wants to hear about the molecular form of a cell? Nobody wants to talk about that.
But that's what kills me is they act like they do.
Right.
So it's like, yo, stop complaining about it. Like, yo, just admit that you love this relationship bullshit podcast and keep it moving.
But guess what they do? They comment under the same relationship video that they hate that then does what? Project it out to more people.
But what is that gonna tell the person that creates that content? Like, okay, I got to create more content like this, even though they hate it. This is my best performing video.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm just so sick of fucking hearing that, bro. Like, it grinds my gears.
But
like,
it's not too far from the actual main topic at hand.
No, that's what made me think of
going back to like where we're at. You know, if you don't agree with these comments that people are making,
then stop feeding it.
Stop watching it. Stop liking it. Stop commenting on it. Stop making videos about it.
Stop adding people.
Stop supporting the person. Pretty much overall.
But the content that people hate the most is the content that gets the most views, right? But in the end, that's the shit that gets you canceled. Like it's insane.
It's so fucking revolving.
Yo, it's like a snake biting its like tail type shit. It's like, yo, it's just like, yo, if you want a different type of content, right? Then when they drop that type of content, yo, because every podcast, bro, has like silly content. Yo, we've done all types of shit, right?
Educational,
but the shit
real
that
estate
sticks the most,
everything
is the bullshit relationship content that you guys hate hearing. Apparently,
but why does it stick the most though?
I don't know.
Because it's relatable. Yeah. Because of the same shit that like
but they disagree with like our ideology, right? So that's like,
which may be fine, but they may agree with the next person.
Because we're not just saying shit they like, right? That's just because we're not being fake,
right? We're talking about from our experience, where it may not be your experience. It means that we're all individuals. We all have our own opinion on certain shit.
Yeah,
and that is the exact same thing that is being attacked right now, is individualism. Or individuality, you know, it's like we want everybody to have the same fucking narrative. We all want to talk about the same thing. I'm upset with you.
Which stunts our growth.
Absolutely. I'm mad at you because you question the way that I think, or you go against it.
We don't think the same.
Exactly my point, which is at the end of the day, you have to believe what you want to believe. This is how nations are born. This is how religions are born. This is how laws are being put into place, is by questioning everything. The thing is like, yo, all right. If I say something and you don't agree with it, that's fine, right? As long as I don't try to enforce it on you. Yeah.
And, yo, in which we aren't. Like, yo, we're just coming out here and I'm telling you how I think. Right? And it may be right for me, but it's not right for you, and that's fine. Yo, and that's just what I'm putting out there, because I'm being real with like myself, and I'm being real with you and whoever's watching. Yo, and if you don't agree with how I think, that's fine. Like, yo, and as long as I'm not like putting a gun to your head, like, yo, you got to think how I think, then, yo, you should have no issue with it. Like, you should be happy that not everyone agrees to the same thing. Like it's just life would be so boring if we're all on the same page. Like
Absolutely
you
not.
need disagreement, you need debates, you need arguments. It keeps us going.
Bro, we all sit here and suck up shit all day long. We fucking pay taxes. I don't want to do that shit. I don't agree with that motherfucker. Am I going up to the Senate and fucking arguing that? Probably not. No, not really. I don't.
Probably should though. We probably should. That's a problem. It's a big problem.
I don't agree with a lot of the laws that governments put in place. I don't agree with the systems that they have in place. I don't agree with the way that they view black people and how they don't have but they're not pretty much giving us the reparations that was once promised to us. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that's happening. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, I'm not fucking shooting every police officer I see or shooting every politician I see.
Let me ask you
this. It just is what it is.
Right. Yo, if you were to get reparations,
yeah,
how much is fair?
It's a crazy comment. I don't know, bro. Crazy
like,
question.
Well, I mean, because like, all right, obviously you've never went through slavery, right? So it's like,
how much were we owed? And I think we should also get the difference in inflation and interest. Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying, give me a number. Like, how much should your reparations be? But then it also makes me question, right? Like, all right, should black people that were not born here get reparations too?
Oh, I swear to God, I was just thinking the same thing.
Like,
am I owed it because my family? I was born here, but my family is not from here.
Yeah.
You know, my family is from Barbados and Haiti, so it's like,
should
I be seeking solace from like England?
Should mixed people get half the money?
I don't know, bro. I think it should call it what you want, but I think what's fair is if you have a traceable lineage from people that you have to have been here like at least a certain amount of generations, and
like 4 generations,
at least 4, 3 to 4 generations.
Somebody had to be a slave. Somebody had to be a slave in America.
Yeah, at least 3 to 4 generations.
So it wouldn't be applicable to you or me.
No, but I think for us, it would have to be. We would probably get like a smaller percentage, like of that. The mass of the money is gonna be those people that have like a traceable lineage. But for like people that are immigrants or like were immigrants or black people, which like I said, should America really be paying for like another country's fuck up? I don't really think that's fair either. We're black, but we're not from America. Nonetheless, we weren't enslaved by America. So like, should we?
I don't think so.
You don't think they should be?
I think if they were to do reparations, it should only go to like people that's been here for like 4 or 5 generations. Like it should not be like the people that just moved here. Type shit, you know what I mean?
I mean, but then that's
because that should be up to your country, the country that you're originally from.
Right. Either your country or the people that enslaved your country. Like I said, England enslaved certain parts of
England got money. England got that long money.
England enslaved. Well, they did a lot of fuck shit, but like they enslaved a lot of the Caribbean. I know the French did too, and Spain did as well. So like I think those homeland countries are definitely the ones that need to pay us.
For Brazil, I think it was Portugal.
Okay.
That brought the slaves to Brazil. So it's like, all right, I would get my reparations for Portugal.
right, yeah. So I think that's where.
All right, but give me a number, yo. What's a fair
number?
First of all, there's no fair number.
Nah, not
there's
at all.
There's no fair number. So it's like, what's a good number? That's a better way to phrase that question.
Bro, I don't think there's a number. Like it's hard to really. How could you put a cap on it? If you say 1 million, bro, like it's like. That's not enough. If you say 10 million, then it's like
they're not doing that.
They're not doing that. Like 10 million times every black person, but then once again, it's every traceable lineage. So like I don't know. For me to be happy, damn.
I mean, would you shut up for 1 million though? Like, would you shut up?
Bro, I shut up for 100,000. Like what? I'm shutting up right now. I'm not even talking about it right now. They pay me shit. Like
I ain't say shit yet.
Exactly. I'm not fucking out here crying about it. Like it is what it is. I mean, I ain't getting nothing right now. So anything they give at this point, not anything, because a fucking $1,000 is a slap in the face.
Oh, so there's like there's 2 level amounts.
It has to be life changing. It has to be making everything an equal playing field. I feel like honestly, there should be 2 fucking reparations. There should be one for fucking slavery, of course, and then it should also be one for all the fuck shit that they did, like in the mid 1900s. Okay. Like not allowing black people to purchase houses, not giving us good quality of like decent jobs. Oppressing us and suppressing us from being able to, become to be like on an equal playing field. I think there should be like 2 levels.
Okay.
Wave 1 and wave 2. Like bring back the whole fucking stimulus checks. You know.
All right. Let me pitch something.
All
right. How about they give you $400,000?
Yeah.
And you get to fuck whatever white bitch you want.
That's crazy. No. Well, that's not enough, bro.
Whatever white one.
No.
Anybody.
Okay.
No.
That I say 400.
2 white bitches.
3?
3 white bitches.
Nah. $400K and a $2,000 like weekly check.
Weekly check.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, bro? I watched the show. Ever heard that show Atlanta?
No.
It's a good show. It's so Childish Gambino. So in this show, they actually like this season they did an episode where it was like that they did reparations.
Okay.
And it was funny though, right? Because they showed it from like the white people's point of view.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yo, it was like this white dude, right? And like he had a kid and like a family, all that shit. And he's like, yo, like some lady came asking for reparations because like she tracked down that like his family had like enslaved her family, during slavery. And he was just like, yo, like I didn't do this shit. Like, yo, he was just like, yo, like it made me think of a way like I never thought. It was like, damn, because that would kind of like, especially if those people now aren't rich themselves. Right. It's like, yo, because he ended up having to get like a second job, like he was a busboy type shit. Like it completely fucked his life that he had to pay reparations for like something his ancestors did. Yo,
but think about it.
That's like
we're still paying to this day for shit that their ancestors did.
I know, but it was kind of funny the way the show, like it's just, it's like this season was very dope, like the way they did it. Right. But it kind of made you almost feel like, damn, it's kind of fucked up for the white dude. Like, yo, why you gotta deal with this shit?
I mean, like I said, we're still paying for the shit that their ancestors did. Because your family enslaved us, because you guys impressed us, like we're not even on equal playing field. So
you know what? All right, so I don't think they would ever do reparations, right? But
okay.
Here's my counter offer.
Okay.
So slavery lasted 400 years in America, right?
Yeah, just about.
Yo, it should be 400 years of no taxes for anybody that has like ancestors that like trace back to slavery here. So I know that they're never gonna give you the flat out money, right? But it should. I think 400 of no taxes is something. What do you think? Think about it. You get that real check, not that gross pay bullshit they give you.
Maybe 400. I would say no taxes and the money that you would
no taxes
pay,
on nothing, no house, nothing.
No,
like,
the money that you would pay in taxes goes towards bonds. I would think that would make more sense.
Like they just invested for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they would put it towards your bonds or whatever it is, Not so much stocks, but I would say at least back.
How about you could choose the investment that you want?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, like a retirement plan. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's
fair?
okay. Even then, like I don't understand why the government's making such a big deal about it. Give us the fucking $4 million, we'll give it right back. We're gonna put it right back in your hands and like give us 3 years. That shit is hitting, spinning the block. That $4 million is gonna be gone.
The reparations ain't lasting.
Nigga, the amount of fucking crab legs and Cubans we're buying,
seafood boils,
bro, it's gonna be over. Like you ain't gonna be able to tell nobody nothing.
I'm gonna be Cuban out. I'm gonna be Cuban out. That's the first.
See, who's ever in charge, listen to this shit. You give us the money, we're giving it right back to you. Like,
yo, where is that? Oh my god, I heard this shit somewhere too, bro.
What's up?
No, somebody had said this shit. I forgot where it was. Like, yo, y'all ain't even gotta worry about it. Like, y'all getting it back the next month.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Look at the fucking stimulus checks, bro. That shit spun the block. Who saved their? Who banked their savings?
Sneakers, bro. Everybody bought sneakers with that.
Everybody bought crab legs, sneakers, and fucking PPP loads with that motherfucker. Like, pay the PPP lady, the PPP come up person, the plug for that shit. Yo, just give it to us. And then now look, because of them stimulus checks, we got inflation right now.
Then y'all could just tell shut up.
Exactly. We gave it to y'all. Y'all fucked it up. Y'all
got it.
Y'all fumbled the bag. It is what it is. Like, just do it. Just do it.
All right. I think we'll end on that on that note. As always, make sure y'all hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe. We was checking the analytics. We seen that 70% of y'all are not subscribed that are watching, which is it's insulting. Like it hurts. Does this thing a little bit?
Just a little bit, yeah. You know, I thought y'all fuck with us. Y'all fuck with us, but y'all don't fuck with us.
Yeah. Ooh.
Y'all fuck with us, but y'all don't fuck with us.
Yo, can we? All right, one last thing before. Yo,
go ahead.
Can we get into this dick riding shit real quick?
Go ahead.
Yo, showing support to people is not dick riding. Okay,
absolutely not.
It's okay to show love. It's okay to like a picture. It's okay to drop a comment. Yo, you're not being a dick rider by showing love to another man. Okay?
You're not being a what's the word that was just dropped? Not a fan, but a fanboy.
Fanboy?
Yeah, you're not being a fanboy.
Damn, that sounds bad. Being called a fanboy?
No, but that's somebody said.
I'm just saying, like, if somebody called me a fanboy, jeez, that hurts.
I don't want to be a fanboy by jumping under y'all shit. It's like, come on, bro, just show love. Like,
yeah, show love. That's all.
Well, it's not that hard.
Not that hard. It's a little click.
That's it. It just lets us know that we're on the right path. And even if you don't like us,
let us know why.
Let us know why so we can change.
We're open to changing.
Absolutely.
But all right. See y'all next episode.